Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So, I'm gonna dip ever so slightly back into my little political bag. That's not my strongest bag, but it is a bag because people be doing stuff. Now, Miss Karine Jean-Pierre was the former press secretary for the Biden-Harris administration. Okay. Karine Jean-Pierre is a Haitian American woman. She was given that position as the press secretary, the White House press secretary. And the job of the press secretary is to interface for the White House, to interface or be the media liaison between the White House and the media, mainstream media, the journalists that show up, the channels and networks that show up to question whoever the sitting president is about whatever's going on. So we watched Miss Karine get up there and say some of the most outrageous, egregious, flat out lying, and all of this stuff that it would be comical at times, the type of stuff that this woman, because that was her job, to get up and say in front of all of America, okay, in defense of Joe Biden himself as a president, the White House as an entity, and all of these sorts of things. And she would sit there and say some of the goofiest stuff that you can imagine. Okay. Now that she is no longer in that position, she is now coming out. She quit quit the Democratic Party. And she's now coming out with a tell-all book about how broken the Biden administration really was. And I title it as a backstab because, girl, be quiet. You made your coin. You made your dollars getting up there saying that stupid stuff. We knew it was dumb when you were sitting up there saying it. We knew it was goofy when you said it. We knew you was lying half the time that your mouth was moving when you were up there. We don't want to hear no tell-all expose book now that you have the freedom because you're no longer, within the, administration. You're not in that position. You don't have to, play your cards a certain way anymore. Now you want to come out like you ain't part of the Democratic Party and how you gonna tell everybody about what Biden did and how the administration was really working and how stuff was really going down. Girl, I know a cash grab when I see one. I know a grift when I see one. And that's my opinion on it. But we gonna let her say what she's saying.
Of misinformation, disinformation, the regressiveness of social policy, what we're seeing currently right now, what I have decided to do, and I really have thought long and hard about this, is to follow my own compass. And that's what I've done. And that's what this book does. And here's the truth. And here's how I will lay it out to you. I think we need to stop thinking in boxes and think outside of our boxes and not be so partisan. This book, Independent, it's about looking outside of boxes, not just always being in a partisan stance. And how do we move forward together in a compassionate way, in a way that really truly cares about people? October 21st. In an era of misinformation.
And as you can see, the comments, they are not on her side. One woman said, "Girl, now is not the time." Somebody said, nobody's reading that book. Biden gave her an opportunity and a great position while she was one of the most criticized press secretaries. Joe Biden always covered for her. Biden gave you a chance and you pull this. Imagine Biden making you the first Black woman of Secretary of Press. And then when you done, you turn around and want to bash the administration. Do y'all know how bad this is going to be on Black women advancing? She was used by Biden. Glad to see she's growing up. This is Dr. This is Boyce Watkins' comment. She's independent now, which means she's still Democratic and liberal for the most part. I'm so sick and tired of y'all not reading the room. Now is not the time. He gave you a chance at press secretary and you're in the history books. Yet this is how you thank him. She just ticked me off. Okay. MAGA attacked her every day, said she wasn't smart enough to be the press secretary, and Biden had her back for 4 years and never flinched or replaced her. Now she's turning her back on her party because they made Biden leave the race. She's ruined her reputation. People are not feeling it. People are not feeling this. And you got to kind of understand where people are coming from. He did put her in a unique position. Yeah, they're kind of right. She was the first melanated woman to hold the position of press secretary. And, you know, just as a side note, all of these, I was the first Black woman to do this. That's not always the accolade that y'all think it is. It's really not. Y'all really be thinking y'all be really doing something when y'all be the first Black woman to do this and the first Black woman to do that. Like, some of this stuff that y'all be the first to do is not really worth doing. Okay? But nobody wants to hear the reason why people are having this kind of reaction is because you didn't quit during the administration. So it's not like things were so bad that you were like, you know what, I can't be a part of it. And I'm not going to be a part of it. She was heavily criticized, again, because it was goofy. The whole situation was goofy. Every time she got on that podium, she said something silly. And something that not only was goofy and silly, but something that most people recognize as a blatant lie many times, okay? She was rude a lot of those times. She was not a good, liaison. She had a lot of rude statements. She had a lot of condescending things that she liked to say. She was very coarse in many instances when she had to address the mainstream media. And so for you to now try to distance yourself from the Democratic Party, and I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all, because you're still liberal. You're still, would be behind a lot of these social policies and alphabet community policies and, all of that. So I don't believe it for a hot second that you're nonpartisan at this point. I don't believe that. And it just seems disingenuous. Just to wrap it up in a nutshell, this seems rather disingenuous. What are you doing? What are you doing? Just here to make a bag any way that she can make it. Girl, don't nobody care. Don't nobody care. Least of all me. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, the Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.